time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's...
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Miami Dolphins. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 24-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Remember, of course, he threw 5 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive, same result here.
But it's hard to believe that you can throw 5 in the previous week and start out your very next game the exact same way. He's going to need a lot of support on his own sideline. Make sure he gets really fully mentally into this one.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Drake. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Drake. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down, it's Drake. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said it. Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. A handoff to the right side. It's Drake. And an alley to run. And now off to the races down the right side. And all touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 19th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10.
Check. Hey! 52. 52's the mic. And watch that. 20.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Perry in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Throwing on 2nd and long. Newton. Taking a shot for Samuel. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Uncorks one for Davis. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Miami. 44 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit them with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of a game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Rosen will throw. It's complete to Fuller. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Will Fuller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Well, they have to be loving this start to the first quarter.
Well, the way that they're going, I mean, you're talking about 2 touchdown drives already. They feel very confident and feel like they have all the answers in this game. They're 1 point away from going up 14-0. Maybe they press the advantage and go for 2.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And this shot downfield on 2nd down is brought in. Touchdown, Carolina. DeAndre Hopkins, 83 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Crunch time, defense.
Running, it's Drake. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
X3, 218.
On 3rd down, Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 18. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Switch it, come on, switch it. Watch twist. Hey!
On 2nd and 10, Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Gun. Hey, Mike's 50. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
3rd and long, it's Newton. And he's got his target. That's Moore. The 20, 10, touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, 81 yards, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. Now Newton will bring the Panthers up to go for 2.
Mike 52. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Shit. 8. Shit. Check. Crunch. 20. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Now Newton. Flushed out right. Throws right side. And he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game, and it works out. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Pick it up, D. Hey, we got tight left. You got 3.
Now it's Rosen. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
A throw left side to start out, that's complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
A gain of 5 brings up second and 5.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, 78 yards, and the Panthers have taken the lead. This time, the extra point up and good, and the lead is now 21-14. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it first and 10. He'll have a first down past the 40, the 40, past the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake with touchdown number 20 on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game. Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 46.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
So first and 10 now from the 30. After the interception, here's Rosen. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Ball on the 30 as they come up second and 10. A handoff out of the pistol. It's Drake. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Flush to his right. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins have come back now to regain the lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Going deep for Hopkins. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it's third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now a play fake here on first down. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Rosen to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now a handoff for Drake, and he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Stop your whining.
Third and long here for Rosen. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Will Fuller, as the first half is winding down, and the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, It almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Back to the air, Newton on second down. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, but now it'll be third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A final shot before the break. Newton. Dancing to his left. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's just me and you. It's just me.
And now it's Rosen looking. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down. From the gun, it's Rosen. And he's going to go down again. And a sack by one of the most consistent D linemen in the game, Gerald McCoy.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Oh, he shifts past him. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Hey, what's that? 50. Check my 50. Hey, tighten down.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther first down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. This is McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Dolphins' 41-yard line.
Watch the slant. Great. Watch the run. He's coming. Double 8. He's coming.
From the 41, Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. There for the sack, B.J. Hill. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Back to throw, Newton. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been terrific so far. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even given up a defensive touchdown.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Give him 32 on the play. Newton on first down. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well to get a few stops.
Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Newton. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Newton. He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Gun. 20. Kill. Turn it up. Kill. Turn it up.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 5. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
The give running right, Drake. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, alert, alert.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over at the 20-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Gun.
From the gun, here's Newton. Open man is Samuel, complete. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Dalvin Tomlinson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The Panthers going for it on 4th. Newton going deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. 10, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. DeAndre Hopkins, 81 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one 28 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll stay on the ground. Ballage again. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the gun, it's Drake. He's going to be very close to a 1st down. Good running, but looks like he's a yard short. Yeah, he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. And a timeout taken. Just 6 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. This defense wanted to stop the clock prior to that, and they do. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run. It's Dixon. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And pretty good pursuit there defensively. He's brought down, no gain on the play. 2nd down coming up.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Let's go, defense. Here we go.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is going to get out of bounds through the end zone, and that will go as a turnover as the defense will get it at the 20-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They stay on the ground with Drake, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Oh, look at the juke. There he goes left side. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
At the 24-yard line.
Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Miami, they move back over 500 now at 6-5, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Carolina, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch cause you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. I bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out,
Ever since I blew, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long. Say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex-slick, then hit with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blow out the back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things, pull out the VIP. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the errands need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
Hey.
Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big.
tryna bring the bass dirt. Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Pull both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many